Well, I was thinking of going up there.
Oh, okay, how long would you want, would an hour be, or,
Yeah.
okay,
I don't know, I can need to see what's going on with Kaylee too.
yep. Just
Yep.
up to you.
What are we gonna talk about for budget today?
Basically fund balances, where they'd be at with the numbers that we have.
Sure.
And then do anything you guys want to do, and then talk about what you wanna do tomorrow with the department heads, if you wanna meet with all of them, or what you wanna do, so I can let them know and get scheduled, so whatever you guys wanna do, I will
We
do.
can have that discussion after we meet with the
After
lacrosse
Yeah.
Blue Shield,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
We should probably have in the record that no decision.
Yeah.
We haven't started
Yeah,
back to meeting
She
yet.
started the meeting
I did start it.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Okay.
yet?
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the recorder on. so-
Well, yeah, I knew they were, the lights were on, but, okay, so, yeah, if we're back recording on everything, no decision, was made in closed session. So, yeah, I guess as far as budget conversations, anything else you wanna say on that?
We can talk about it all later, whatever you guys wanna do. So
And yeah, if nothing
Can roll,
else, we
can
can,
roll right into it, it's fine, yeah.
If you need to leave, we can do it after the Monarch discussion too.
Sure. That's okay too. Yeah, why don't I'll come back.
Yeah.
Come back.
okay. Well, do you guys wanna run through the fund balance stuff at all briefly, or just take a break till 10:30?
We're not gonna gain anything
I mean,
until we really know what we're doing.
I guess,
These are good guesstimations.
Those are most of the numbers, that are in, it's just based on,
That's including insurance.
yeah, that's including the 20%.
mhm,
So,
yeah,
Your fund balance for general fund, we're getting it down there.
yeah, so I did wanna talk about that a little bit. Let me grab mine.
You're barely gonna make the year is what my concern is.
So general fund, yeah,
you talking about the 22-23 actual number?
your
Or,
our ending fund balance will be a little bit lower than what we've had in the past. Well, it'll be higher than 22-23,
yeah,
but it'll be
Back up to
lower than
What it
what's
was last year.
re-estimated for this
But-
year.
We consistently run lower than our estimate.
Right,
well, that depends on how the budgets turn out and if there's
But
amendments and stuff.
usually we are less than what we estimate it's gonna be.
right.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I don't think 5 million is a bad fund balance.
No, I don't think we're that short for 5.5 million.
No,
The 3.5 is a little tighter, but,
For general supplemental or?
for general basic, the
Right.
22-23
We
column.
were
Yeah.
at 3-1. We'll be at 3, wow, yeah, 3, yeah,
well,
that'd still be higher than what it was 2 years ago.
Yeah,
your real basic is actually probably gonna be really tight.
Yeah, that one,
Well,
we're getting lower than what it was 2 years ago. But that's with,
well, that one's maxed, so we
Yeah.
can't do anything with that one.
Yeah.
that's, yeah,
What we'll have to decide is if that's enough, or if you wanna use rural supplemental or not.
well, and some of that, like, the timing of the transfers to the secondary road department, are those set in stone? Or they transferred after property tax comes in, mostly?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing one, well, we do transfers every month to
Yeah,
secondary road,
yeah.
but,
But the majority of it moves
yeah,
with tax.
the lost transfers we do, like we just did one yesterday, so those are done this time of year, so.
Yeah,
How much difference would it make to transfer the insurance out of rural basic to general supplemental.
We're talking millions.
What's that?
We're talking millions. It's what, like 3 million? Is that what it is?
Well, I mean.
No, not
for-
just,
the
health, just
the road
health
workers.
insurance for secondary roads. Be
Oh,
probably
for secondary roads.
a couple $100,000, I bet.
It'd make a little difference on the ending balance.
For rural.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then you're jacking up your,
Yeah,
General.
we'll have a
General
low-
supplemental.
Yeah, we'll have a lower funding balance, ending balance on the,
general supplemental,
or increasing your levy
Or
rate.
increase levy
or
again.
you'd have to increase your levy,
Yeah, either one.
but
Cause right now I just guesstimated, I put the general supplemental levy rate at $1.50. It was at $1.33 last year.
well, what you
So-
gotta decide is, do the people in the cities use the rural roads too, and what is the right mix?
So,
Well, yeah, if you look at the general supplemental, the property tax page, that'd be a
Your base is,
$330,000 increase.
your base is bigger, though.
It is.
You're taxing more people.
spreading it out.
Yep, you spread it out further, that's my opinion.
It makes sense, but then that was also what local option was supposed to help you too, but.
It's a weighted game.
Yeah,
There's no right answer, I'm just making a suggestion that we can think about.
Yeah, I mean, it is a possibility by the code section. I don't know that
Is the end result great big dollars to anybody? No.
and the property tax you have plugged in for rural is the max, right?
Yes.
That $30-ish thousand increase.
yeah, correct.
Yeah.
That's the max.
My
Yeah, I
irritating
see.
factor is if they roll back the commercials on the windmills, which
Yeah.
they should have never done, we wouldn't have this issue.
Yeah.
So the state mandates all this crap and then they take our ability away to tax.
I guess I don't have a problem with moving up.
With the, transfers out here at 3.7 million, is that
In which fund are you looking at?
rural services, rural basic? Is that using the current budget for engineer that Doug presented to us?
Whatever he put in his numbers, I don't know what numbers,
Okay,
you'll have to ask him that. I
Yeah,
put in whatever he
that's-
submitted, so.
that's why there's $1 million increase there plus health insurance, which is what really brings the fund balance down. Cause you go from 2.5 million to 3 3/4.
3.7, yeah,
Well, $3 away from 3 3/4.
And
That's a,
remember, there's still some numbers that are probably not in yet, most
Yeah.
budgets are, but
We haven't got Roger's numbers in on what he'll expected increase in wages.
Yeah.
We,
he put in what he's gonna be asking you for tomorrow or whenever you have the workshops, so all those numbers are in here.
those numbers are in here.
Yeah, all that's not in here is ambulance, assessor, and then if there's any other
which the
stray
EMS
thing.
has its own
Right,
levy.
and so
EMS
does
and the
assessor.
assessor has their own.
But it just if they have anything that would come out as general basic or go up to general basic or anything like that, but, or if there's anything else, you know,
Their
that's,
insurance comes out of their own fund, correct?
EMS,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
It's
does.
not gonna make any difference.
Same with the assessor.
No, and I mean, Phil will go through those numbers and stuff, but we've got ample dollars budgeted for health insurance for that.
Looking at the assessor fund though, they don't, there's a zero for expenditures.
That's because I don't have any other stuff yet.
Oh, okay.
I don't have any
Okay.
numbers from the assessor and none from the ambulance, so there won't be anything in those.
But,
Yeah, I didn't see that.
but back to, raises on some of it, like conservation department and, I'm trying to think, which other one? They had 4% in, if we give everybody else 2, why are we going to give 4 to conservation?
I just plugged in what they gave me, so, and I figured they could
But I
talk to
think
you
you ought to
about
address
that.
it, cause now you're picking and choosing
Yeah,
your opinion.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think we ought to be consistent, because that's how we always get all the gripes.
yeah,
My next question is, that includes the engineer's office, right?
Correct.
yeah, well, and there was some very high percentages there too.
Yes. There were.
I mean, basically, I printed these off just to give you an idea of where we at right
Yeah,
now with
no,
most of the
that's-
numbers
yeah.
entered. It doesn't mean they can't
mean-
be changed or finagled, it's just to give you an idea.
That's where we're sitting right
Right.
now.
Mhm.
In all reality, I mean, general basic doesn't look that bad.
I didn't think so either.
Expenditures are up a little bit, but with all the situations, I think we're pretty decent there. General supplemental,
Is mostly insurance.
is up, and that's pretty much insurance.
And that's with
And,
the
well,
$1.50 levy rate, I just put that in there, that
Yep.
can be changed.
and that is health insurance and property insurance going up, both figured in. Rural is $1.25 million increase with secondary roads.
But your general supplemental is gonna affect the rural area more than it is the residential area because of the increase in property values. Property values went up quite a bit. That's how we gained that $100 million in assessment
The rural area went up a higher.
percentage rate than the residential.
Higher percentage growth, yes. But then that's limited back down.
Right, but still, you
Your
limited back
valuation.
down,
Your valuation dollars, yes.
it's still gonna affect the rural more than it is, that's all
Yeah,
so you're gonna have complaints about the rural taxes.
well,
I don't think so, it's gonna be lower, your levy rate's gonna be lower,
the
But the
issue,
assessed value is higher.
right? But
but your total dollars coming in is only going up by 30,000, so that's
Yeah.
not gonna,
Yeah.
that's not gonna impact very much.
I'm more concerned if you switch it to general, then that levy rate will either be higher or fund balance will be lower, then you're gonna have to explain that to people.
Well, our levy rate for general supplemental is already going up substantially for $331,000 almost, so, I mean, if you add more to that, then general goes up even more.
Right,
Or fund balance goes down. I
Right.
guess the biggest concern I'm looking at here in these sheets is rural and $1.25 million increase in expenditures
and a lower fund balance.
and a lot lower fund balance. Because of the increase in expenditures.
Well, transfer out, but yeah. You keep saying expenditures and I keep looking at that line. You
Well,
want to transfer out
It's
to, yeah.
It's
an
transferred, it's
expenditure,
transferred to the secondary road department, but it's because of the budgeted expenditures in that department, yeah.
But I guess our ending fund balance in 22-23 was 2.9, so,
Well,
We'd be under that.
yeah,
be under that, and if you continue that trend, it will keep getting
Right.
aggressively worse.
And that's thanks to the state and other reasons.
Well, it's also proposing $1 million increase in property taxes. that we can't do. Otherwise, I mean,
If you're gonna have to have Doug in here, you gotta figure it out.
Yep.
yeah. And that'd probably be better for
Carter's.
after Wellmark when Carter's back this afternoon, maybe, whatever. But
Do we got new worksheets for everyone after they've updated their stuff?
Nope, I haven't put anything in until you approve insurance today.
Okay.
Or decide what you're gonna do with insurance, because I'm not gonna print them and then change them and print them again.
Sure.
Well, all we've done is, with insurance, is approve keeping our fund balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We haven't decided how we're gonna pay for that yet. That's a two-part question. Now, how are you gonna assess the increase?
Well, we
you got any recommendations or thoughts?
Going to do the cop out and say that I'm only gonna have a half a year in on that. So your thoughts and explanations are probably more important than what I'm going to suggest.
Well, we can probably save that till Carter gets back at least, I guess, but
I think you're probably going to have other people in the courthouse who are gonna be very interested in how you discuss that.
that too.
And if you do it without them knowing that we're doing it, you're going to have, people upset with us.
I think a lot of them will come in at 10:30, so that will be.
Yeah, and
But it's a
that's,
discussion that you should have to balance out what the taxpayers expect and what the employees expect.
well, I guess on that topic, I think we all got the text message recently here this last week. I think it was over the weekend maybe, from Brian Goodman in regards to what Algona Schools does. That's also tax dollars involved there, and employees pay a higher dollar than I was even tossed out as an idea last week, but they pay in the $500 to $600 ballpark if they choose family coverage. And I mean, I could wait till Carter's here, but I'm sure Michelle will touch on it some too. I had called her after our last conversation and some questions that came to me of, oh, can we get other options of employee plus spouse instead of full family if kids are out of the house or whatever, or employee plus dependents. So I just asked some basic questions and that rolled into a few other things, but and I called her yesterday to try and see if she'd gotten numbers, and when she called me back I was not able to talk, but she left a voicemail that she didn't get numbers for all of that, but she said the end line figure would be the same. It would just be different dollars for each plan, so it's not a major change in that regard for us as a whole. For the employees, it would be a different number that way, but she recommended having 2 plans at most that are offered. Like one option would be the same deductibles we currently have or a higher deductible option. Like I had requested 5,000 and 10,000. Those are plans, but within the plans you have tiers or subsets or whatever where you could have single, you could have single plus dependents, you could have single plus spouse, or like employee plus spouse, you could have full family, where if you have your spouse plus X number of kids, that'd be a full family. So you can have all those tiers within the plan, because the plan would be your deductible and out of pocket and all that. So really, we could have more options for the employees if we did offer 2 plans and the tiers within the plans. You would really have more choices at the employee level. So I thought that was good information to at least
But
look at.
you don't wanna, yeah, we don't wanna change that, that's gonna have to be a discussion for next year.
What do you mean?
Changing it now to where they're gonna be funding,
They, if you did something like that, they would still have the option to have the exact same plan.
I'm gonna say, kinda halfway agree with Mr. Wactor. We're kinda late on the ball game on some of that. But to entice somebody to change their plan, if we're paying totally for a family plan, they have no reason to change. So you're gonna have to have an incentive, which means dollars.
True.
Is that what you're talking about then?
That would be part of the equation, yeah.
so I'd have to,
I mean, and we won't know until we look at the numbers, but if we look at the numbers between $5,000 and $10,000 deductible, maybe everyone doesn't want a high deductible like that. Maybe they'd rather pay so much a month for a family plan that is the same deductibles we currently have. It's not, it wouldn't lock people into anything, it would give them options. And I mean, we were gonna look at the numbers for these other plans anyway, so it's just a subset of options within that, and she'll explain all that, I'm sure.
well, I think one of the ways to kinda get around that was, you know, having the higher deductible and then giving people the option for, an HSA.
But you're still taking more money out of people's pockets, so at the end of the
However,
day,
the HSA gives them the option of what they wanna put into it to help cover their deductible.
They can
We
do
would
that-
still-
they can do
it would
that
still be
anyway.
on the same insurance plans and,
they could still do that anyway.
right,
The only problem I have is it's gonna start in July, 1st of July, the insurance, the new plan, correct?
Well, whatever we do, it all renews on 7/1, yeah.
So whatever we do, we're gonna have to give people options, enough time to look at options and if they want to change. So it has to be very explicit what we're doing now,
Yeah,
because
and she'll be better walking through that than I did, I'm sure, but it's just options within options.
your deductible will change and start over again in July.
no.
No, deductible is a calendar year.
Can you change plans and what the
But she had
She
explained
sent
that
an
in an
email.
yeah.
So basically what would happen is you would take what you would use for that first half and then add the other half of the deductible, so like,
She had it in an email, Doug had asked that question.
and she can explain that more too.
I asked Doug to ask that question, but I don't understand it totally what she said.
So she said, the plan changes begin on 7/1 of each year, benefits run on a calendar year. If you make a change to go from a $500 to $1,000 deductible on 7/1/24, beginning on that date, you're responsible for the $1,000 deductible for 2024. So if you satisfied $350 on 3/30 of 24, you will then have the remaining $650 to satisfy for the remainder of 2024, which would be after 7/1. If you had something happen 5/15, you would still have the same deductible because the plan hadn't changed yet, I believe. And I'm
So
sure she'll get
basically,
into that.
if you meet your deductible now, then the plan changes, then your deductible would then jump up 500.
It would
So then
change with it.
Yeah,
So so the person that met their deductible would be paying $500 more.
everybody will,
Yeah,
based on.
after July, you'd
Yeah.
start,
Yep,
but
Yep.
if you had met the deductible and you had met the 500, this is what wasn't clear to me, then you wouldn't owe any more deductible because you had met the 500 beyond the deductible.
It would just add another 500 to your deductible for the remainder of the year, so if you.
It wouldn't
if
start
you-
over again as what wasn't.
It's
clear to
not,
me.
yeah, it's not
No.
really starting over, it's adjusting the difference. So
you would
basically-
just have a new limit.
Yeah,
Right, but if you met your limit plus whatever the change was, you had met your limit. It didn't
True.
reset it.
But you're like, if you had something that crossed your $500 deductible in May, say May 1st, and you met your deductible, then, and this could be something to clarify with her, but I think that you would have your deductible satisfied until the end of the plan year, so the end of June. But then if you went in for something else on August, I think that's when you would have the new difference in deductible for your next
so
service would
the
be.
simplest way you could explain this is you have a cookie. That cookie represents the $500 deductible. Whether you eat that full cookie or not, you're gonna get a second cookie after the start. So if you eat that full cookie, that counts for your 500, you're gonna get another full cookie. If you eat half that cookie, you're still gonna get another full cookie. And that full cookie represents the 500. So then you'd have $750 to eat before the end of the year. If you'd only used half of your deductible, so $250 at the first part. You're still
Yeah.
gonna add that additional 500 after July 1st.
Okay, I meet my $500 deductible.
Yep.
And I surpass it and I have $1,000 that I
But
spent
you-
on medicine.
but
Okay,
you-
now, July 1st, the plan changes.
But
so
if you meet your deductible,
Did I
the
meet
rest
my
would've-
deductible
the rest would have been
for
covered.
the rest of the year then? Because I've spent $1,000 and they've paid it on the deductible or on the,
I think that will have to be a question for Michelle.
She'll probably have a
you
better,
know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Because I've spent my deductible plus another 500.
are you talking like, percentage of whatever you pay for medications and all that?
yeah.
If you've already spent it, I would imagine that it would qualify,
But
but
they've already paid
yeah, if,
everything over 500. Now
If
you
it's-
come to 750 or 1,000. Do I owe that money back because the plan changed, so to speak, or do we start over from zero?
no, you don't start over from zero.
Well, I understand that you start at 500 or 1,000 there.
Yeah, cause her example was 350 and then you'd have 650 to sasatisfy yet, so I
Yeah.
mean, it, from her email,
It's
it shows.
confusing to me to try to explain this to somebody,
Yeah,
cause I don't really get it yet.
I mean,
that's why I was trying the cookie explanation.
But
It's-
you know where I'm coming from.
Right.
Because I've already spent, say, $1,500, but I got reimbursed 1,000. Okay, now I go to the new, and I have, say, a 2,000 and 5,000 deductible. Where do I go?
yeah,
Because it's really in the same calendar year, how can you change it?
but that's
My
where she said
recommendation
it's,
to everybody is to keep your receipts from what you've spent on medications and stuff like that, because if that is the option, that you can basically then report that, and then that reduces from what your remaining deductible is for the rest of the year. So say you used your $500 deductible, you spent $200 on your medications. If you can prove that you did that, then instead of adding another 500 to your deductible, they would only add 300.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying,
Right.
and that's would be my recommendation, is hold
I'm-
on to your receipts and stuff and medications
see,
if you
right.
want, so you can prove.
Yeah.
I'm
Right now-
sure Michelle will explain
yeah,
that
she
better,
would explain, yeah.
she's used to doing this all the
Right now,
time.
you know, we get diabetic supplies online. and we can pay for it, because I
Are we
think
taking a
we
break?
ding the insurance enough.
Yeah.
It ain't a big deal, but if we
I
change the deductible, now I'm gonna have to keep track of everything that I spend every month on credit card. So are you gonna, you have to verify that every month then, to your deductible, or can you wait until the 6 months comes up?
I would just,
That'd be a question I would
Yeah.
ask her. I mean, we can guess and
Honestly, it's
speculate
easy
all
on-
day, but
on
it doesn't.
credit
not
card, because you
productive.
can just print out a statement and highlight, this
Right.
is what I've spent on medications.
Right.
You know, that's easy to do, you know, in that case, you know. Say, I met my
Oh.
deductible this date, this is what I've spent after this date.
How about we take a half-hour break, cause I don't know, I mean, we could spin our wheels here and not get
Yeah.
anywhere.
We're spinning wheels. But it's
So-
gonna be confusing when you